Hello, everyone. My name is Austin Bayshore. Welcome to the Ohio Green Party live stream. Today, we are speaking with the Basic Income Party of Korea. They are represented today by Shin Ji-hye, the party leader and 2021 candidate for Seoul mayor. Again, my name is Austin Bayshore. I am with the International Committee of the Green Party of the United States and am the secretary for the Young Greens. Mackenzie, can you introduce yourself, please?
Oh, hi, I'm Mackenzie. I am the co-chair of the Young Greens of Ohio. And yeah, that is about it.
We are joined today by Shin Ji-hye, the co-leader or the leader of the Basic Income Party of Korea. Shin Ji-hye, can you introduce yourself, please?
네, 저는 한국의 기본소득당 대표인 신지혜이고요. 기본소득당은 작년에 당신이 누구든 매월 60만 원 기본소득이라는 슬로건으로 창당된 정당입니다. 우리 당원들의 평균 나이가 27세일 정도로 굉장히 젊은 나이이고요. 대한민국 300명의 국회의원 중에 단 1명의 국회의원을 보유한 정당이기도 합니다.
So, I'm sorry.
And this is our translator for today, Chung Jae-in.
Hi, my name is Jae-in Chung. I'm from South Korea. Yeah. So, can I translate now?
Yes.
Yeah. So, her name is Shin Ji-hye. She's a leader of the Universal Basic Income Party in Republic of Korea. Her party leads the two slogans. One of them is a guarantee the basic income, which is about $600 every month to every single one, whether you are registered or not in Republic of Korea. The party is very young, that the average age is about 27 in general. Also, they have a one elected committee,
Member of Parliament.
Yeah, thank you. Congressman, sorry. Oh my God. Congressman out of 300 Korean Congress. Was founded in 2020. Am I correct? Right.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, Jaden, for translating today. Thank you, Shin Ji-hye, for taking this time very early in Korea. So our first question for today, what is universal basic income? Lacey, what is universal basic income to you?
From what I understand, it's the government giving every citizen a set amount of money so we all can at least get a fair start. And
Shin Ji-hye, what is universal basic income?
네. 세계적으로 동의한 기본소득의 정의가 있는데요. 모든 개인에게 아무 조건이나 소득과 자산 심사 없이 정기적으로 지급하는 현금을 세계적으로 정의하고 있는 기본소득으로 보고 있고요. 그리고 내 삶을 보장할 만큼 충분한 기본소득으로 나아가야 한다라는 것을 목표로 삼고 있습니다.
So universal basic income is a type of social agreement in a system to guarantee the life to guarantee your minimum baseline of the lifestyle, and it is based on the very globally agreed standard.
So we have a lot of questions about basic income in the United States. So many people argue that we don't need basic income. Why not just a job? Why is not a job just enough? Shin Ji-hye?
기본소득당은 이 일자리가 최고의 복지라고 일컬어지는 시대는 끝나가고 있다고 생각하고 있고요. 4차 산업혁명이나 이 기술 발전으로 인해서 더 성장하고 있는 이 경제에서는 고용 없는 성장이 계속 지속되고 있기 때문이기도 합니다. 그리고 한국에서도 일자리를 지원하는 이 사업에 매년 한 5에서 10% 정도의 예산을 투입하고 있는데요. 이 일자리의 질들을 보면 단기간 일자리거나 특별한 기술이 없어도 되는 단순 노동이거나 그래서 보람이 없는 일자리다라는 한계가 좀 명확합니다. 그래서 이 소득 보장 정책으로서 일자리를 제공하면서 먹고 살기 위해서 억지로 일해야 되는 사회가 아니라 내가 하고 싶은 일을 하면서 소득을 보장받고 나아가서 나는 어떤 삶을 살고 싶은지를 좀 고민할 수 있는 기본소득이 더 이 시대에 적절하다라고 생각하는 것이 한 가지이고요. 그리고 기본소득의 정당성에 대해서 굉장히 다양한 논의들이 있지만 기본소득당이 생각하는 이 최고의 정당성은 우리 사회의 공유부라고 일컬어지는 것들은 모두가 누려야 한다라는 생각이 있기 때문에 이 공유부 배당을 받을 권리로서의 기본소득이 주어져야 하고 이제 일자리 관련해서는 소득 보장을 위해서 일자리를 무조건 제공한다라는 것들을 좀 넘어서 우리 사회가 탈탄소 사회로 넘어가야 하고 그리고 코로나로 인해서 돌봄을 메울 수 있는 돌봄 사회가 되어야 하는데 거기에서 필요한 일들이 있다면 일자리를 만들어내는 방향으로 일자리 지원 사업이 좀 바뀔 필요가 있다고 봅니다.
So the first idea is that the society is changing. In the past, we used to live in a society, government guaranteed a job, no matter whether you like it or not. Government trying to guarantee the job, and they keep trying to push us to take this job. But problem is, this kind of scheme should be ended. It's already out of idea. And honestly, even though we're spending about 5 to 10% of annual budget to guarantee the jobs, most of the jobs are very depressing. And many of the workers who working for those jobs actually are not really enjoying it, which is a very depressive and a very oppressive society. So her party's idea is that we actually have to change our mindset. Instead of just tossing the whatever job we can create and push them to take a job, why don't we create a job not just we can enjoy, but every single one in our society can enjoy? So the party's goal is to guarantee the future of the job market, what everybody can enjoy. That's the first one. Second one is everybody has a right to enjoy their life. Living their life is important, but we have to go another step further, not than just having a job, enjoy. We literally have to have a right and guarantee it to enjoy the life. And the universal basic income can guarantee that future. And third one is a little bit more broader concept. When we expect that idea, when we think about all the current issues globally, we have a global warming issue, we have a depressive economic issue, we have a geopolitical issue, a lot of different issues, and we used to stick to the nurturing society. But in nurturing the workers, hey, this is the capitalistic system. You have to just adjust yourself in it. But that's not how we do. Their party's idea is that we have to nurture our workers. Hey, do you want this job? That you can try this one. You can try that one. It's more like a one-on-one communication policy. And the idea is seeing the future as a nurturing society, including not just workers, but global warming issue, pandemic issue. We have to do that, and the basic universal basic income is the very first, a good start.
Thank you so much. Mackenzie, why not? Why is just a job not good enough?
Well, at least in the US, even if we have a job, if we go to the hospital or if our car breaks down, we're broke. We have no money, and we shouldn't have to live paycheck to paycheck to that. So it's not even why not a job. It's why do I need to rely on $8 an hour to cover everything or get multiple jobs? People should not just live to work. They should be able to go to the hospital without having to worry if they're going to be able to pay rent or get groceries that week. They shouldn't have to worry about paying for food. That should be taken care of anyways. But I feel like if we were able to do universal basic income, people would not have to choose between their health, their eating, or a place to stay, or work multiple jobs. And so that's what I say to that argument.
Thank you. So our society, Korea and the United States, our society is very not okay for LGBT people, for women. In the United States, we share commonalities with multiple racist issues. So how can UBI change power relationship in a society? 질문 3번이에요. 신지혜?
네. 우리 사회의 가장 큰 문제는 우리 사회의 구성원들을 동등하게 대우하고 있지 않다, 바라보고 있지 않다는 것이 굉장히 좀 크다고 생각하는데요. 그런 관점에서 기본소득당은 예를 들면 토지나 빅데이터처럼 모두의 것이라고 일컬어지는 이 공유구를 기본소득으로 배당받을 권리가 있다라고 이야기를 하고 있는데요. 뭐 성별이나 장애, 뭐 나이, 기타 등등의 다양한 이 차별의 이유가 되고 있는 이런 것들이 기본소득을 받으면서 나도 우리 사회의 동등한 구성원이 된다라고 모든 사람들이 인식하게 되는 것이 좀 하나의 큰 변화가 생길 것이라고 생각합니다. 더 나아가서 좀 말씀을 드리면 특히 한국 사회에서 이 불평등 문제가 굉장히 심각한데요. 이 불평등을 해소하기 위해서는 굉장히 적극적인 정책들이 필요하고 이 불평등을 고쳐나가기 위한 세금을 신설하면서 불평등 문제를 좀 고쳐 나가야 된다고 이야기하고 있습니다.
So the basic problem of our current society, especially in Korea, is that everybody has a different perspective. Ironically, the problem is with their own perspective, they don't want to discuss. They just insist their own perspective and basically fighting each other. I am the right one, and they don't want to tolerate to make the society as a more combined society. They just voice up and then tell everybody to each other that I am the right one. Good example is the property good, public goods like a property in Korea. I don't know how much you guys know about the South Korean property, the real estate market, but it's a very, very intense. About 70 to 80% of the South Korea is covered by mountain. So the only 20% of the South Korean territory is available for the housing or sports events or big events like a concert. With a limited size of the property, everybody just voicing up and saying this is my property is an ownership. The perspective, the ownership is so much dominating the South Korean area that it cannot promote the other people who cannot own the property, promote the pride of the social membership of the South Korea. I am just, basically the idea is I'm just renting out this area. I don't live here. I don't own this place. I'm just sitting on here and then paying the rent. I'm not a member of this society, right? And her party's idea as a solution, her idea, there are a couple of ideas that Shinji Abe suggested. One of them is actually talking about the discrimination tax. As a kind of, in my opinion, is a kind of like a punishment. I'm not sure this is correct or not, but it's a discrimination tax. Another one is actually promoting more, using the idea of the universal basic income, actually promoting the non-owners, especially basically what we call the minorities. Minorities are pride of the membership, social membership in South Korea.
Thank you so much. Mackenzie, how can UBI change the power imbalances in our society?
I feel like it'll give everyone a more even starting ground. And I also feel like employees will be more willing to stand up to employers and demand what they want, and also take back the power of the workers.
So number 4, will immigrants, undocumented and documented immigrants in Korea and the United States receive universal basic income? Mackenzie?
I hope so. I definitely think they should. But we got to get the ball rolling on universal income anyways. But when we do get that, hopefully soon, we should definitely include everyone who is in the United States.
신지현님?
한국에서 이 기본소득 논의는 아직 난민이나 미등록 이주노동자에게까지도 기본소득을 줘야 된다라는 논의까지는 이어지고 있지 못한 것이 사실이에요. 작년에 코로나 팬데믹 때문에 사람들이 소득을 벌어들일 수 있는 모든 일자리들이나 이런 것에 영향을 받았을 때 대한민국 정부에서 모든 국민들에게 재난지원금을 지급하는 정책들을 펼쳤었는데요. 그때 잠깐 우리 사회의 이 미등록 이주 노동자 역시도 코로나로부터 안전해야 우리 사회 전체적으로 코로나로부터 안전해진다라는 논의가 잠깐 있기는 했지만 여전히 좀 난민이나 미등록 이주 노동자에게까지 기본소득을 주자는 이야기까지는 좀 이어지고 있지 못하는 것이 좀 한계고 저 역시도 좀 아쉽게 생각하는 부분이기는 합니다. 다만 이것이 우리 사회의 기본소득이라는 것이 이제 보편적인 제도가 된다면 이것을 어떻게 그리고 누구에게까지 확장할 것인가에 대한 논의들이 벌어질 수밖에 없고 그렇게 만들어야 한다고 생각을 하는데요. 그때 그냥 인간이라는 그 존재 자체만으로 기본소득을 받을 권리가 있다라는 지점으로 논의가 커져서 누구나 인간이라면 존엄하고 존중받아야 하고 차별받지 않아야 된다라는 인식이 더 전반적으로 퍼질 수 있을 것이라고 기대합니다.
So in Korea, there are a lot of discussion about the universal basic income in the last several years. Unfortunately, the discussion failed to expand its territory, its coverage to the legal or illegal refugees or undocumented workers. When the pandemic started, it's a good example is when the pandemic started last year. When the pandemic started, the political scene has a discussion about the pandemic funding to support each individual's consuming ability. There was a little bit of a conversation of the coverage of the refugees or undocumented workers. Unfortunately, the discussion ended at that moment, and it failed to cover those workers. She also, so she thought that was a kind of shame because that discussion had to be continued by now, but still that there's no certain clear of the political scene, a discussion in the political scene about this coverage. So idea is the universal basic income's idea about the refugees and undocumented workers is that the see the human as a one single race. Whatever color is, whatever nationality is, whatever your origin is, whatever language you speak is, the basic idea is you are living in South Korea. And you have, since you are living in here as a human race, you have a right to guarantee your life. And this amount of money is what you need at least. And she strongly believes that the basic universal income can be a good weapon to push the discussion further and can continuously held in South Korean political scene and probably global scene.
Because of time constraints, this will be our last question. 시간 때문에 이것이 우리의 마지막 질문이 될 것입니다. So a lot of people on the left wing and left-wing politics in general criticize universal basic income as an agent of capitalism. How can universal basic income challenge the capitalist system that oppresses workers and its people? Jaden, can you translate this question, please?
제 목소리 잘 들리시죠?
들립니다.
네. 최근에 많은 좌파 진영에서 이 유니버설 베이직 인컴에 대해서 이 유니버설 인컴 자체가 이 아이디어 자체가 캐피탈리즘의 산물이라고 비판을 하는 경우가 있거든요. 심심치 않게 나와요. 저도 뭐 글을 좀 읽은 그런 것에 관련된 글을 좀 읽었는데 이것을 이 비판을 후보자님이라고 해야 되나요? 후보자님
대표입니다. 대표. 네.
대표님께서는 어떻게 생각하시는지 그리고 그것을 그 비판에 대한 어떤 답변이 준비되어 있으신지 그거를 물어보고 있습니다.
한국에서도 굉장히 많은 논란 혹은 논의들이 되고 있는 부분입니다. 예를 들면 기본소득을 지급하면 지금의 여러 복지들이 기본소득으로 대체가 돼서 더 복지가 약화되는 거 아니냐라고 우려하시는 분들도 있고 또 그런 기본소득을 주장하시는 분들이 또 한국 내에 있기도 하거든요. 그래서 지금 어떤 기본소득을 어떤 재원으로 그리고 왜 시작할 것인가에 대한 논의가 좀 굉장히 중요한 시점이라고 생각을 하는데요. 아까 제가 말씀드렸었던 것처럼 우리 사회의 커먼웰스라고 일컬어지는 이 공유부에서 뭔가 수익이 난다면 모두에게 기본소득으로 나눠야 된다라고 이야기하는 이 기본소득의 정당성은 우리 사회의 이 소유권 구조를 바꿔나갈 수 있는 아주 중요한 시작이라고 좀 생각을 하는 부분들이 있고요. 우리 사회에서 이 자본주의 때문에 특히 한국에서는 이 네 가지 불평등이 좀 굉장히 심각하다라고 일컬어지는 것이 있습니다. 네 가지에 대해서 말씀을 드리면 소득 불평등, 그리고 자산 불평등, 특히 부동산 가격이 너무 올라서 한국 사람들이 집을 살 수가 없는 지경이 되기도 했거든요. 그리고 기후 불평등, 나아가서는 이 젠더 불평등의 문제가 이 자본주의가 심화시킨 이 불평등이고 한국 사회에서 점점 더 심각해지고 있다라고 생각하는데 이 불평등 문제를 해소하기 위해서라도 기본소득이 도입이 되어야 된다라는 측면에서 기본소득의 이 정책적인 역할들을 더 이야기하고 있기도 합니다.
So, is my voice that loud? Sorry about that. I had to brush my teeth first, or gargle my throat. So two ideas, basically, I use the word basically a lot today. Sorry about that. in South Korea, there are two conversations are currently held about the inequality. Since a lot of left-wing politicians, basically, they criticize the universal basic income can be a hassle. Because it's the basic idea is the byproduct of the capitalism, and there are a couple of the conversations similar to what they actually criticize. One of them is a lot of so-called the left wings or liberals support the idea of the public welfare, not an income. If they promote the universal basic income, the idea of the welfare kind of go down, and it's gonna be imbalanced, and in the end, it's gonna go back to the capitalistic society. They are trying to get out of capitalism society, but if we adopt the idea of the universal basic income, we're gonna change our direction and then go back to the capitalism. So in Korea, there are 4 different ideas of the inequality can actually represent an idea. One of them is income. Another one is the property ownership, especially like I said, and from other questions about the real estate ownership in South Korea is very, very critical. Whether the ownership of the house or not actually can change the whole direction of your life. Third one is a climate, and the last one is a gender inequality. And her idea is that instead of stick to the idea what we already discussed, and it seems like it's not working anymore, why don't we expand the idea and see the future? And the discussion is not about what is welfare, what is a basic income. We already know that. We discussed about it for so long time. Instead of talking about the definition of universal basic income, let's talk about the method. How are we gonna make it? How and why is it so important? So it's more practical, and a functionalistic idea is the functionalistic discussion is the idea of her party. Second one is that the basic income is not really a capitalistic idea, since everybody needs to pay something anyway. They have to pay something, they have to buy something, they have to trade something. Whether you like it or not, the system is so solid that it's not easy to get out of the system, especially if you don't own any property, especially if you don't have a certain type of income, a constant income. Also, you have to spend a lot of money because of the climate condition, or depends on your gender condition. You have to consume so many stuff. The universal basic income can guarantee can be the idea to guarantee the steady lifestyle as much as they can enjoy. That's the 2 ideas. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mackenzie, let me re-ask this question, it's been a little while. Many people say the issue facing us is an issue of capitalism and worker power. So how can universal basic income challenge the capital system that oppresses the workers and the people?
I feel like I said to the last question, it gives power back to the workers. The workers can now bargain with their bosses and don't have to worry about getting fired because they have that income that's already coming in. They can enjoy their lives more. If they want a job, they can find a job that they enjoy, and they won't have to give their whole lives to that job. They can go and be with their families more. They can go travel more. So that's the short answer.
I want to thank you guys for joining us today. I want to thank Shin Ji-hye for this opportunity to interview. Shin Ji-hye님 오셔서 많이 감사드립니다. Thank you everyone for watching today, and we will see you next month.
Awesome.